Okay, so I was going to show you guys, got my bike apart, doing some audio stuff up there, but I put this air ride kit on. I got from a company called Two Wheel Terror. It's basically the Monroe shocks they reinforced them on the eyelets with some extra welds to kind of sturdy them up, so that I guess the Monroes have a reputation for breaking right there. So I got the shocks, and then I got some extra little push fit connectors to just kind of make that whole setup just go a little bit easier. And then on the other side, for the 2014 and up models, a few of the other people who put together these kits make these little mounts. So I got a mount to mount my compressor outside my bag, so I'm not taking up any space. I don't have to open the fairing, even though my fairing's already open, so it wouldn't have really hurt. But I like that mount location. I ran my wires, used some 14 gauge wire, and snaked everything up under my seat. So to operate this thing, I went ahead and I already had the dash switches. I was using this one for a Bluetooth, so I'd already bought that left side pack. I bought the right side pack that comes off the CVO, which there's nothing under here on my Street Glide. It was just a straight up plastic switch blank, the whole thing. Just kind of a molded plastic that fit in there and looked like it was switches there, but it wasn't. So I bought the CVO kit that came with a lock and an unlock button. And what I did is I flipped the top off of one of those buttons. Not on the locks. I flipped the button. I took this button that used to be over here that said accessory, flipped the cap upside down, and then moved it over to this side to kind of make that look nice. I didn't like the way it went together, so I actually left this one upside down because it's kind of centered. It doesn't look too bad. I just left it. But I have switch power there, and what I did is the wires are wired up here, but there's nothing to get power from under the seat, which I'll show you now. So you guys have seen the switches, and these are momentary switches. So I can push this, hold it down, and as long as I got my finger on it, that's giving power. And the same with that one. This is just a 12 volt. You hit it, it locks down, it's giving power. So the way that I power all my accessories is I tapped into the P&A audio connector, a little 8-pin plug down here, this little white one. Harley sells a little kit that you can get that comes with a cable, and I snake that under into my battery tray compartment there under the seat. And that's got it's got a thing that ends in 3 wires that you can use for power, ground, and I guess something kind of like a little remote thing. I got my Bluetooth device hooked up to the power wire on this. My Bluetooth device is grounded elsewhere, so it didn't need a ground. So I got power from here. And then this kit also comes with a little 4-pin Dutch connector, which is also tied to a relay. And that relay is a little 30 amp relay, which is more than enough to power that compressor that I showed you over on the other side. So what I did is I just ran some 14 gauge wire up from that compressor, wired it into, I went and bought another one of these male-in connectors for my, I don't know if it's male or female actually, but I ordered this in from my Harley shop, and I pinned it and clamped it onto a 14 gauge wire, plugged that in so it kind of looks a little cleaner than just kind of splicing wires, and I can just connect that, plug that in for power. So that's how I got my compressor power. And then on my solenoid, what I did is, you see this yellow and white wire, I actually took those 2 wires and I pushed it through that Harley harness, that P&A harness, and tapped it into the pins per the wiring diagram on my bike. So what I did is I actually, by running those 2 wires, I gave myself the power for this switch and this switch. This would be my white one and this would be my yellow one. And this one I didn't run any other wires. I really don't have any other accessories I plan on tying to the bike. This one's empty right now, but if I wanted to run something like, I don't know, LED, freaking accent lighting or something, I could power that with that as long as I stay under 2 amps and I don't need a relay. And this one, that goes to my solenoid. So the way my air ride setup is going to work is I'm going to hit this button, compressor goes on, airs up my system. I hit this button and the solenoid fires up. Or that powers the solenoid and it dumps the air out of the system. Solenoid over here, out of the way on the space just kind of forward of my ABS unit. And all my wiring, just kind of my hoses, they come together, the air lines to this little Y-fit connector, which is over here underneath my finger. And that's from that one to the T connector, and that one goes down to my solenoid, which I've got disconnected right now because I actually had a leaky push fit connector that I'm replacing, but I aired it up last night. It'll go up, so that's my setup.